Welcome back to The Love of Shine. Today's brand spotlight is Chemical Guys. So, if you've been watching through my videos, at least in order, you've probably already seen Turtlex, you've seen McGuire's, and you've seen Mother's, and you're probably thinking to yourself, dude, why haven't you done Chemical Guys? Well, here you go. I kind of did the other ones based on my feelings on brand recognition. So the other ones are really big in retail markets. You'll see them in any of your auto parts stores. You'll see them at Walmart, Kmart if there's any of those left anymore, Target, all those places. And for people who are more into the car washing culture, you really, once you get to that point, you can't escape Chemical Guys. They have an insane devoted following. They are starting to show up in Walmart now. They have their own stores coming out. The first one opened up in my state about a week and a half ago, called Detail Garage, and they just carry everything Chemical Guys. That's it. Still haven't been able to make it to that store yet. I'm looking forward to it. I'm waiting for a new soap to arrive there before I make the trip, because it's really not that close to home. But so here we are. And my story with Chemical Guys is I don't know if I would say interesting, but just a little different. I wasn't jumping on the Chemical Guys bandwagon right away. Actually, I think my first Chemical Guys product, period, and not even really paying attention to their other stuff, was probably 4 or 5 years ago. I bought their hose sprayer on Amazon, which I don't even think is theirs. They don't really say it, but it's the same product as Curand, which that manufacturer makes a ton of stuff for. They made stuff for Turtlex even. So I think like a lot of the Chemical Guys, their sprayers and towels and stuff like that are made for them. At least some of their towels are made for them by Curand. But I was really slow to get on board with their soaps, and the big reason there is because their price point. And if you've watched my other 3 videos, my big thing is value. What you get out of it. So I really didn't get my first Chemical Guys soap till last summer. And I was looking at my shelf here, and I had a lot of stuff that I tried, some stuff I was working through, and I had just this one open spot on the shelf. I'm like, what haven't I tried yet that should go in that empty spot on the shelf? So I'm like, I haven't tried any Chemical Guys stuff, but I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't excited about Chemical Guys. I really wanted to not like them because of how much they were charging for everything. When I see that, it either has to be like an amazing product to be worth that price, or I feel that they're just kind of a little full of themselves. So I kind of went, I don't want to say against my better judgment, but just against my feeling at that point, and went to Walmart, and I dropped the $17 on this citrus car wash. This is a citrus clear car wash. It's a hydrophobic free rinse car wash. And $17. This is 32 ounces, I think it is. Just seemed like I was crazy. Oh no, it is 64 ounces, but still $17 for that versus all the other stuff at 64 ounces. I think might top out at $10. So dropping $17 on 64 ounces of wash just seemed crazy to me. However, when I was standing there at Walmart, I was reading the directions, and everything I'd have to say at least 90% of the car washes on the market are 2 ounces per gallon. So if you have a big 5-gallon bucket, I would use 4 ounces, 4 gallons, and leave some space for suds up top. So anytime you see a 64 ounce container, you're probably getting 16 car washes out of it. So I read the directions on this, and it's 1 ounce per 5 gallons. So 1 ounce per bucket, 1 ounce per wash, however you want to look at it. So this is 64 washes in here. So I'm like, well, 1, I didn't believe it, and 2, if it does work, you get 64 washes out of a container that cost you $17, which really jumps it to the front of that value perspective. So I bought it, I went home and I tried it, and I liked it. I didn't want to like it, but I liked it. And the citrus, that was the other thing that was kind of throwing me off with the Chemical Guy stuff, is all their scents. I love this. I love scented car soap. It's a big feature for having fun out in the driveway. But a lot of their stuff just seemed a little too fruity for me. So even though this was citrus, I was expecting it to be just like a real sweet, maybe orangey smell, because there's a lot of orange scented car soaps out there. But this smelled kind of like a citrus hand soap that I had used before, and I liked that. I liked that it wasn't overly sweet. It was a nice mellow citrus scent, and it did a really good job washing the car. It made it look great at the end. So I was a believer at that point. My only complaint with really any Chemical Guy soap in the 2-bucket method is it's not, you really don't get any lubricity in there. And it has to really be that 1 ounce per bucket ratio. Just isn't enough to give you that slick, smooth feel in the bucket. And, if you've watched enough of these videos, if you've watched any videos on YouTube, this is probably the last one that you've come to by the time you've watched all the other more popular YouTubers out there. But the reason that you want soap with high lubricity is it cushions that you're washing it. It cushions your microfiber sponge as you're washing across the surface, because it's picking up all that road grime and dirt and salt in the wintertime and all that stuff, and you're rubbing it across all the panels of your car as you're washing it. So you want a soap that is very slick with high lubricity to help not grind that stuff back into your paint and create all those swirl marks. So unfortunately for me, Chemical Guys does not have that in the 2-bucket method. It seems to me that Chemical Guys really, they have instructional videos on the 2-bucket method, but it seems like they're really pushing more toward foam cannon kind of stuff, because that's the fad right now. So I think they foam better that way. But that kind of gets me to the plus side of these soaps, is that they actually do foam really well in the 2-bucket method. So the solution isn't slick, but you get a more dense foam sitting on top. So it's kind of like, your cheaper soaps kind of give you that light, airy, fluffy head of like maybe a lager, where this gives you that dense soap of like a nitro stout. And so that foam kind of picks up the cushioning where the lubricity is lacking. So where I knock it for lubricity, I'll give it points for having a denser foam than most other soaps out there. So this is my first Chemical Guy soap, and still one of my favorites. It's one of their most basics, which I'm sure is why they sent it over to Walmart to put on their shelves. One of the more basic, cheaper soaps, but a soap that I really enjoy. So that again is the Citrus Clear Car Wash. Good stuff. And that brings me to my next larger jug. This is a 64 ounce V7. So this is their high gloss car wash soap. And the reason I picked this up is I had, about a year ago, I picked up their V7 spray sealant that I really liked. So I figured, well, since I'm trying out their soaps, I'll also try out their the V7 in the soap. And another one that I really like gives you a nice shiny high gloss finish at the end. Great orange scent. This is more where some of the other ones smell like orange juice. This one's like straight up oranges. So I really like that. And so then once I got the bigger ones, I'm like, you know, per ounce, you actually save quite a bit going with the 64 ounces. So if you've got your mindset on one soap that you're just going to use 64 times, by all means grab a 64 ouncer. And now if you're interested in trying different stuff, the price per ounce for these little 16 ouncers are it's a little bit higher than 32 ounce, but it kind of frees up that the initial investment to try out some different stuff. And again, at 1 ounce per gallon, most of the stuff is 1 ounce per gallon. There's a couple that's 2 ounces per gallon, which is still a better ratio than most other washes on the market. But that knocks your 16 ounce down to 8 washes instead of 16. So just keep that in mind. If that's a concern of yours, the value that you're getting, those tend to be a little bit less expensive than the 1 ounce per gallon ratios, but not necessarily enough to make up for that you're getting half the uses out of it compared to the other stuff. So take a look at their instructions online if that's important to you, how many uses you get out of it. I think the wash and wax, Mr. Pink, I think those are 2 ounce per gallon. And I think that was it for the ones that I have here. So that's these, Mr. Pink and wash and wax. And, you know, again, these are probably, of these, I don't know, probably the least impressive of the bunch too. Mr. Pink is really just a basic, it's a super suds shampoo, so you'll see a lot of Mr. Pink getting used in the foam cannons, but as far as a regular wash, there really is nothing spectacular about this. Probably one I would not buy again, considering that Chemical Guys has so much other stuff out there. And the wash and wax, again, this is a premium shampoo and conditioner and a gloss enhancer. It did a good job, but again, with the 2 ounce per gallon, there's better. They have better soaps out there. Citrus Wash and Gloss. So this is the gloss version of this citrus one. And you'll notice I shook it up just out of habit. If you do order this, the gloss, so the shine enhancers in here actually separate, so it kind of comes down to the bottom. Looks like a little bit of margarine on the bottom. So it's not, there's nothing wrong with your soap. Just give it a good shake before you use it. But this is good, cleans and shines. It is a ultra premium citrus based hyper wash with gloss enhancers. And there's actually, if you go to the Chemical Guys website, they do have, if you click through some stuff, they have kind of this matrix on there of all of their soaps and what they're good for. If they have gloss enhancers, if they're super foaming, that kind of stuff. So it kind of helps you, almost like a buyer's guide. So definitely check that out before you start digging into some of their soaps too. This is their Vitalize wash. This smells like lime, if I remember correctly. This is designed to enhance their Vitalize ceramic. This has carbon technology and advanced cleaners, high gloss shine. Pretty good soap. Wasn't totally blown away with it, but they also have new ceramic coating that just came out maybe 2 weeks ago, and a new ceramic wash that came out that's the one I'm trying to wait on, but it's sold out. A little bit pricey, but still something that I want to give a shot. to see if adding ceramic to a wash actually makes a difference without having the actual ceramic coating on it. So I want to see that as a standalone wash if it really makes a difference. So I'm looking forward to trying that one. That one's called Hydro Suds. So just waiting for that. And again, I probably won't put a video on it, but keep an eye out on the Love of Shine Facebook page. I'll give you my thoughts on that when it comes up. This is the Extreme Body Wash and Wax. I would definitely choose this over the regular wash and wax. This is just a 1 ounce per gallon, so you get twice as many uses out of it. And definitely seems to do a slightly better gloss enhancing shine at the end. This is a Blacklight Hydro Radiant Finish Car Wash Soap. The Blacklight's designed for darker cars, and our Armada is a dark, like a carbon gray. So I bought that to try it on there, and I did like it a lot. And it smells like Dr. Pepper, which I love. And we've got their Gloss Works Auto Wash, which also has good reviews online from a lot of the reviewers out there. Gloss enhancing shampoo, synthetic formula, safe for wax and sealant. So that's a good one. The only one I haven't tried yet is this Tough Mudder Truck Wash. I've seen mixed reviews on this that it really doesn't do anything more than other soaps as far as getting the mud off. But the reason I bought it is because I hate driving on dirt roads, and I have to do it a couple times a year, and it's usually just as luck should have it. It's after a rain, or if it's in the middle of February, we would have had a crazy warm up where everything's just mush, and so I wanted to try this on the car and undercarriage and frame and that kind of stuff to see if it really does help get the mud off. As luck should have it, since I bought this, the times that I have had to go down a dirt road, it's been completely frozen or has been dry. So maybe this is my good luck charm. If I never have to use this, I'll be happy. So that's kind of the overview on Chemical Guys. So as you've seen in my other videos, to me it comes down to value. Chemical Guys is a pricier soap, but based on their the dilution ratio that you get to use, most of these, like I said, is 1 ounce per bucket, really does up their value game. But kind of an issue that I have with Chemical Guys, and I think it's kind of their business plan, is they've got so many different soaps, and they're so minutely different that you probably could take this, where'd it go? The Blacklight for dark cars, and then you could probably take their regular wash and wax and wash them side by side on the same car, same paint, and probably not really notice any great difference between the two. So the fact that these two exist apart from each other, I'm not really sure why. And a lot of it too is because they have so many different scents for their products. I think that's a big I don't know if I'd say selling feature, but I think that's a big reason why they sell so many different soaps, because I don't know, people are just eating it up, and they do a lot of things on their social media about showing your arsenal, and people are just going out and spending. I mean, to spend $1,000 on Chemical Guys stuff probably isn't out of the question, and based on some of the arsenals that I've seen. And I like Chemical Guys. I don't have anything bad to say about them. You will get good results using their stuff. But I just can't find a reason why so many different things exist that pretty much do the same. At one time I kind of thought that about Meguiar's, but there's enough differences between the Meguiar's products that I can see why, at least most of those, why they would exist in the market. And I have not seen enough differences between these soaps to understand why they all exist. And then, that new ceramic one's coming out. That one I can kind of understand because you don't really see other soaps on the market that have that SiO2 in the soap. And so I'm just really curious if that makes a noticeable difference versus any of these other ones. So, like I said, keep an eye out for that. Chemical Guys makes good stuff. They make a ton of different stuff. It can kind of get a little overwhelming. It can kind of become addictive, it seems. But overall, a solid value because of how concentrated their stuff is. So it's not bad stuff. It's just this culture that they're building, and they're making money hand over fist. And I hope it continues for them. I hope that it's not, just doesn't become a fad product, because they're investing all this money in their detail shops and stuff like that, which I think is a cool idea. It's something that you don't really see around, and it seems like they're very supportive to those franchisees, which is awesome. So I do wish them a lot of success. I enjoy their products. I wouldn't say it's necessarily my favorite brand, but I will definitely, it's, night and day versus Turtle Wax. I like Turtle Wax, but I would use every one of these products on my car again, which again, as I've said in other videos, not something I could do with Turtle Wax. So that's kind of your big differentiator there. So there's my thoughts on Chemical Guys. I appreciate you watching, and hopefully the weather's good. You can get out and have some fun, and just keep it clean. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.